This episode is brought to you by Honda. When you test drive the new Prologue EV, there's a lot that could impress you about it. There's the class-leading passenger space, the clean, thoughtful design, and the intuitive technology. But out of everything, what you'll really love most is that it's a Honda. Visit honda.com/EV to see offers.
Kroger Delivery has one mission: to deliver the freshest food right to your door. That's why our drivers are pros. Our trucks are refrigerated. And when it comes to low prices, we always deliver. With $20 off your first order of $75 or more, there's no better time to get in on the action. Mission accomplished. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
South Korea 2, Germany nothing.
They're
I know
done.
just enough to know that that's a big deal.
Oh, they're defending champs,
Right.
the favorites, and they're done. They're out.
Yep.
Mexico laid a huge egg today against Sweden, lost 3-0, and they were going to be gone. And then the South Koreans, who had really nothing to play for, beat Germany.
So I suppose it's like any other sport on any given day.
And here's the other thing. Germany was an ally of Japan in World War II, and I don't think the Koreans liked the Japanese from back then. So that was another reason to win that game.
The English are happy because now Germany can't beat the English.
Yes, in fact, and Brazil has advanced. South America having a really good World Cup, and they play Mexico in the first round. And Mexico looked very. This all started when Mexico beat Germany 1-0 in the opener, I believe. So.
Impossible Germany?
Mm-hmm. Unlikely
Yes.
Japan. Let me tell you
I
this.
stole the old line on Twitter from the 1950 Englishman
My favorite headline.
writer. I stole it today. I said, "Bad loss for Germany and Russia. It's had worse."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's the great... We've lost to them, but we've twice
No, is
defeated.
it if on this morrow, something like this, if on this morrow you are saddened by the fact that Germany has defeated our lads in England's national sport,
Yeah. Be consoled.
remember, be consoled that twice in this century we have defeated them in theirs.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? but in the country,
This was 1950, I think, so it was a little fresh in everybody's mind.
well, in the country of Germany, this is just going to be profound.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Profound.
they take great pride in their tough, wonderful, creative soccer that they play. Yeah, it's got to be unbelievable.
Well, go on the tabloids and look at the pictures of the weeping Germans in
the stands, yeah.
in their finery and their colors.
They had their fun last time.
and they're going crazy. South Korea is on a
Yeah,
lark.
now they know how Brazil felt 4 years ago when they were in the semis and edged them 7-0 on their homeland, on their home property. So, but I can guarantee you, whoever's coached Germany today
It's gone.
won't be coaching them a week from now.
Mm-hmm.
They fire them all when they fail in the World Cup. Virtually everybody.
Who do the Twins start firing?
I don't know. That was brutal last night. You're just rolling it. Hey, the guy on the mound's got to blame himself. Pick the ball up and throw it to first base. Did you see that?
Well, did you make it till midnight or 1 o'clock?
No, but I was in and out. I saw it.
It didn't start until about
they
9,
had a little
did they?
chopper back to Lynn. He didn't glove it, and then he fell down on the wet turf, which is a big fall for him. He's about 260, and that started the whole mess. Then they made another play back up the middle. They didn't make a play on a ball, and they kicked it around and lost to the. When you're ahead of the mighty Whiteys, you should beat them because they don't really care, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not going anywhere. It's gonna be interesting because everybody says, "Oh, you got to trade Dozier and guys like that." I don't think there's any real. There's going to be any real market for Dozier. I don't think you're going to get much because teams aren't out there looking for second baseman. They're all, this time of year. They're all looking for pitching and plus he's hitting 225 or something like that. Did
he have a home run last night?
Yes, he did hit one last night. Yeah.
But they didn't start that game until about 9, did they?
No, yeah, it was delayed. It was after midnight when they were still playing. Oh, yeah, I bailed on them after that inning where they looked like clowns.
Well, I watched them. It was 2-0, and then had to look it up this morning, 8-4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
It's what are they? 34 and 41, I think. They probably played the fewest games of anybody in the league.
7 games under 500. Which to me still remains the mark you have to achieve to get serious.
This team team has no chance. Everybody is saying, it's almost time. It's almost time to give up. No, it's it's past time.
Well, are you going
nowhere?
Are you going to say they don't care?
No, I think they care. They're just not very good.
Yeah.
I don't think Logan Morrison's hitting 191 because he doesn't care. Right. I think it's because whatever he did last year in Tampa has not transferred to this year. That's for sure.
And we're past the point of saying, well, he'll get going.
Yes.
We're at the halfway mark.
Yeah, you're halfway through the season. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The end of June is not, it's early.
No, it's not.
Wasn't it Yogi who says it's early getting late? It's late. It's getting late early. He said it's getting late early this year. Yeah.
Well, that's what's happened to them. It got late early.
It's got late early. Yeah. They're not very good. But it'll be interesting to see how many. You know what? We're getting to get a perfect example of the social mentality of the modern sports fan. Mm-hmm. The fact that the Twins stink is not going to prevent 8,000 Minnesotans from being in Wrigley Field this weekend.
Well, it's a destination ballpark.
Yes, it will be. But it's going to be 100, by the way, in Chicago this weekend.
I know.
Yeah. Oof. Mrs. Racey, who's not a real hot weather gal, she was talking about perhaps going to a game this weekend. I got a hunch she might settle for the opportunity to walk 10 feet down Michigan Avenue and go in an air-conditioned place. I can't see her making it through 100 degrees.
Are you going to stay on the Avenue?
Yeah, we're at the Westin downtown on Michigan Avenue.
And you have a bulletin to announce about your travel plans.
I threw this out there this morning, and to my surprise, the DA went for it. We're going to take the train.
Take the train.
Come on.
Take the train.
Huh?
Take the train. Yep. Leave tomorrow morning.
Be ready for an experience.
Leave tomorrow morning. Come back Sunday. Get to go through Winona. Get to say hello to people in Winona.
Stop off at EB's Corner. Tell them I said hi.
I just mentioned it to the grumpy traffic guy, and he said, I did that once. They stop at every dunk hole town.
I was going to ask you, does it stop on the way down?
I don't know. It takes
Kellogg, Wabasha.
Takes 8 hours, a little over 8. But you get out. They let you out at the Union Depot over there by not far from the Field Museum, I think.
So, well, it's stress-free, though.
Yes. Yeah, and it's supposed to have wireless and stuff. And so, yeah.
I will be tweeting as I go through Kellogg, Wabasha, Winona.
Well, that's a really pretty run.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a scenic.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did that once when we were kids.
The only thing is you hope they don't run into a coal train or something, and then you end up having to wait an hour and a half.
Or a couple of kids on their bikes with cap guns and cowboy outfits where they
returns. Where's the turn? I know it goes down the river.
It's got to take a left somewhere there.
Got to take a left at Winona or La Crosse maybe, or even further down. I don't know.
I'm not sure. But all I can envision, and this might be unrealistic, but all I can envision is Cary Grant helping Eva Marie Saint up to the upper bunk there at the on the train.
It might be a bit unrealistic.
It might be, especially since you're not going to have a bunk, but among other things. But that's my idea of train travel.
Come on, right up, Mrs. Thornhill.
Yeah, right. That's my idea of train travel.
See, if he had watched the movie, he'd know what we were talking about.
Right. That's the one about that train that was riding on the tracks?
No,
Right?
it
No,
wasn't
maybe
about
not.
that.
Okay.
Not a bit.
No.
What's it cost?
Oh, it's I got a place where there's just two of us sitting in the room, So I don't know. It's a smaller one.
It's got to be cheaper than flying.
Yeah, $300 a head, I think.
Round trip?
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Well, the other thing is, I'm on the newspaper's dime to some degree, but if you park downtown, valet park, it costs you $80 a day.
Right.
So,
Well, not to mention your gas.
yeah, it's parking it down there is ridiculous.
You're one step above the megabus, though. Your megabus on rail.
Well, I wouldn't badmouth the megabus. I've never been on it, but good luck to it.
Megabus to get you there in 9 hours, 11 minutes.
You
got it right here, around 2:33.
I want you to live tweet the entire trip, Patrick, because I'd like play-by-play for this trip. I've done that, and yeah.
Well,
I'll let you know.
Ricey's all on board right now, but I can hear her 4 or 5 hours in saying,
When are we going to get
when
there?
do we get there?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Just a
here?
quick side note: your megabus goes through Hudson, Menominee, Eau Claire, Osseo, Black River Falls, Toma, down through Madison, and then crosses over.
That's
You were gonna tell me. You were
That's
gonna tell me.
the megabus. How
Yes.
about the
I want to
train?
know where the train takes a left.
I know, but I got
It
sidetracked.
goes down to
Go to Prairie du Chien.
La Crosse.
Yeah, and then takes a left.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what?
Let me turn off this.
Goes all the way into Chi-Town,
No, I know,
stopping every 10 minutes to add water.
And coal. I hope we have a good coal shoveler.
Water
man.
and coal.
I gotta have a good coal shoveler, man. Come on, buddy. Let's go here.
All right, just a moment.
Hope we don't get held up. All right. The Detroit Tigers have fired pitching coach Chris Bosio over insensitive comments that violated the club's policy. The team announced Wednesday.
Let me guess.
Guardies, they're not telling us. Nobody knows yet.
No.
I'm guessing that it might have involved bad-mouthing a person and maybe questioning their sexual preference or
My
something
guess
like
was
that.
going to be it
In
violated some
baseball.
LGBTQYYEVUW crowd.
Effective immediately, the Detroit Tigers have terminated the contract of pitching coach Chris Bosio for his insensitive comments that violated club policy in his uniform employee contract. The organization holds all of our personnel to the highest standard of personal conduct, both on and off the field. We have zero tolerance for this type of behavior. The club will have no further comment on this matter. So I have a question. This is Gardy's guy, by the way. But Rick Anderson is in the bullpen as the coach. So Rick Anderson will slide right over and be Gardy's pitching coach, I'm sure. But if indeed, there's two possibilities here, because Mike Prefer, the special teams coach of the Vikings, 3 years ago, said that people of homosexual persuasion should be taken to an island and have it nuked.
Oh,
Okay,
that's a little drastic.
That's harsh. It's harsh.
And he got reprimanded and I think suspended for a while, but he was reinstated.
Oh, maybe some diversity
there's
training was in
one
order.
of two things. Yeah, diversity training. There's one of two things here. Either what Chris Bosio said was really insensitive, worse than take homosexuals to the island and nuke it, or the Tigers have a stricter requirement on this stuff than the Vikings did. There's one of two options there, I would say. So anyway,
Who's the beat guy?
I
Call
think
the beat guy and find out what he said.
He's a big buddy of. I'm sure it'll pop out here in the next couple of days. He's a big buddy of Molitor's. He's the guy Molitor wanted to hire. Basio is the guy. They were teammates with the Brewers, and Molitor wanted to hire him when he first got. But he was the Cubs pitching coach, and they wouldn't let him go. So
Is he any good?
yeah, he's really good. Yeah. I was watching him when I went up to see Gardy that day this spring, and I watched him work with the pitchers for about an hour, and you could just see that he was actually teaching them stuff rather than just standing there and saying, "Hey, that was good." But I don't know what
teaching them in.
I wouldn't be surprised if
comments.
I wouldn't have been surprised. I won't be surprised if maybe somebody screamed at an umpire or some damn thing like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it'll come out here in hours. Within hours, I would guess.
That'll be breaking news on the ride.
Yes, it will. But fortunately, I know that I've gone through life without any insensitive comments, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're one of the few, Patrick.
Yes, right.
You're a loner there.
really am. But
you just have never said anything to anyone who signs a check.
Yes, or will report me to somebody who signs the check. Right now, it's a good time to know your audience, I would say. If you're,
I think an island full of homosexuals, that'd be more fun than a pride parade. Can you imagine the party?
Fire Island. I always wanted to go out to Fire Island and see the party.
It'd be like a 5-year waiting list to get in on that party.
Yeah, that island. That'd be right.
Everybody would want to go because, let's face it, they party way better than us.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do.
Well, that pride thing has just become a wonderful party.
Well, it always has been. It's actually become more kind of.
But it was first a protesty thing, right? And then somebody said, "Let's have some fun."
But when I started, I went a few times in the early '90s, and oh my God, it was just out of control. It was so much fun, and it seems like it's kind of gotten a little more corporate.
Yeah,
like everything else.
I'm sure they have sponsors now who are trying to take advantage of
this thong on Larry, sponsored by Fredericks of Hollywood.
When I went, it was just straight up debauch, man. It was just a blast.
Yes. My favorite Pride Day still remains. We were in Pittsburgh watching the Twins play, and a beautiful little ballpark, but it was Pride Day in Pittsburgh. But this was still Pittsburgh, like 6, 7, 8 years ago. They had a representative of the Pride Festival throw out a ceremony of first pitch about an hour and a half before the game started with 12
make sure
people.
none of those coal miners are in there.
The game started at 1:30. It was about noon. And they sneaked some gal out there and let her throw out
none
the
of those
first
coal
pitch.
miners and steel workers are ready for that.
No, they aren't.
Dum-dums.
It was great. She's going like this, and there's 7 people. Hey, way to go.
It's all family members, too, family and friends.
That's true.
Did you hear the dreadful news in St. Paul?
What?
Mayor Carter? What? No fireworks. No fireworks. We can't have that kind of frivolity. We need the money for other things. No fireworks in St. Paul.
So they usually have a downtown display?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Over Harriet Island?
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
We can't have rockets flying over the city, he said.
By the way, did you see the picture the other day that we made the big deal about the field baseball for the All-Star game? We did all of the fields in Minneapolis, and there's a Harmon Killebrew field out there.
Right.
Somebody sent out a photo of it the other day. Looks like they're growing dandelions. It's just it's falling apart.
It's the one right next to Abbott Northwestern, right? Isn't that the field?
I'm not sure, but I guess nobody's been on it and nobody's doing anything with it.
That's an interesting.
Well, they've got some new bike
there.
lanes they had to paint, and the.
That's true.
Sports Talk will return in just a moment, but now thanks to our good friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and they do that better than anyone. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now, or What's Left of It.
Yeah, not much. Stocks gave up some early gains and closed sharply lower today as lingering trade concerns pressured shares of technology and internet companies. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 165 points, closing at 24,117. The Nasdaq Composite lost 116 points, and the S&P 500 dropped 23. Harley-Davidson is pushing back against complaints from President Trump, its own workers and dealers who say the company is abandoning its made in the USA status by moving some production overseas to avoid retaliatory European Union tariffs. The company said it would rather not make investments to address regulatory issues and take a profit hit, but it is doing so to protect European riders and its dealers there. A Harley spokesman said the company remains committed to American manufacturing and selling only U.S.-made bikes here in the U.S. A draft copy of the new 1040 income tax form shows that the form is indeed just the size of a postcard, as promised by the GOP when the tax overhaul law went into effect, but it does not necessarily shrink the workload. The legwork to claim some popular deductions has just been moved off the 1040 onto one of 6 accompanying worksheets. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, Bruce, we thank you very much. You can go home now, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Checking your traffic here, this report sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs, and thankfully a crash westbound 62 at France has cleared out of there. Unfortunately, the levels are just gross. Lindale over to Gleason. You'll ride the brakes the whole way there. Southbound 35W, a tad bit herky-jerky, 94 down to Lake Street. And northbound 35E, if you're fighting your way into downtown St. Paul from 494, you're looking at 18 minutes. The sub above difference.
Here's John Height.
Thank you, Joe. It's partly sunny. We're up to 80 degrees now. Twins White Sox again tonight in Chicago. Kyle Gibson goes for the Twins, and James Shields pitches for the White Sox. Story that involves some former Twins you talked about a little bit, Patrick. Rick Anderson will indeed move from bullpen coach to pitching coach for the remainder of the season for the Tigers. Tigers announcing today they've fired pitching coach Chris Bosio for a club announcement, the decision due to insensitive comments. No further explanation.
No good reports out yet from the Detroit media on what it was.
And I bet it was an insensitive comment to a player.
You think so?
A team employee is all they're saying. Oh. That according to Al Avila, the GM.
Team appointment. A team employee, and that could be either a player or somebody from the front office.
Mm-hmm. And we won't know if he'll get another job until we find out just how bad that comment was, right?
Right.
Bosio in his first year with the organization after he spent the last 5 seasons as pitching coach for the Chicago Cubs. He pitched in the majors for 11 years from 1986 through 1996. News notes from today. The big news of the day, of course, Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy announcing his retirement. That means President Trump will have a chance to nominate his second Supreme Court justice.
Oh, this is fantastic. I love this.
The 81-year-old.
What if it's one of the judges from The Apprentice?
I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think so.
That'll be awesome.
George, do you want the job or not?
81-year-old Kennedy said in the statement.
Might be somebody on Fox. It might be Hannity.
Hannity. He'd make himself available, believe me.
Kennedy said in the statement he's stepping down after more than 30 years on the court. He was a Republican appointee, but he has held the key vote on high-profile issues like abortion, affirmative action, gay rights, guns, campaign finance, and voting rights. The president did say he'll get right on it. He already has a list of 25 judges that were being considered last time round.
And none of the guys who probably ruled against him on the immigration stuff around the country, I would think.
Probably not. A former Henry Sibley High School music teacher has to register as a predatory offender as part of her sentence for having sex 3 times in February 2017 with a 17-year-old student. Dakota County Attorney James Backstrom said 32-year-old Christine Lee Funk's sentence also includes 6 months in jail, 10 years probation, and she was granted
I said, holy cow, that's kind of harsh.
Backstrom said sexual abuse of a student by a teacher is deeply disturbing conduct. We're pleased to have brought Ms. Funk to justice for this criminal conduct. Initially, Funk of New Hope was held on probable cause of possessing pornography on a work device in February, but she was released a day later, not formally charged. However, investigators found text messages of a sexual nature exchanged between Funk and a student, which also indicated the two had engaged in sexual activity.
Music teachers, Such.
Mm-hmm. They go nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, you know why, too? It's the students, before the teacher walks in the room or before she calls, before she takes her pen and goes, on the thing, they just sit there and blow their horns. Right. So it's just this cacophony of just this awful racket, and I think that's what contributes to their early demise.
I do, too. Band teachers, music teachers, They all crack up.
If they go on your cell phone to find something, they shouldn't be allowed to look for something else.
Well, I don't know what the conditions were here.
Well, they went on, John, you said they went on the cell phone to
Possessing
look
pornography on a work device.
On a work device, and then they found the text message.
So now I'm looking at mine. I've got a picture of a dead fish, some rafters.
And they want to see you upstairs.
My kid and his girlfriend, a bunch of pictures of a barn, a few gun photos, and dead raccoons. Lots of dead raccoons.
By the way, the St. Paul Saints attempt to make an ongoing joke about the St. Paul, the raccoons. It's really desperate.
You see the
desperate, silly, stupid, immature, juvenile act.
Well, that's what they
sell out.
That's what they do, Pat.
No, I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed
The
for
guy in the raccoon suit climbing the wall.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny, actually.
That one actually made me mad. I got Patrick Royce style angry when I saw that.
That's it. I'm done with him.
Again?
Yeah, I'm done with him now.
I didn't know you were back with him.
I went to a game. I took the kids last year. Yeah, they like the pig.
And you have Mike on every year.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to tell him how
You and your raccoon, Mike.
Yeah, tell him how embarrassed I am for him.
What if next time Mike Veck comes on, he comes on as a raccoon in a raccoon outfit, which he would be apt to do.
Yes.
St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter announced today the city will not host a fireworks display this year on the 4th of July.
What's it cost, Johnny? What are we saving?
100
$100,000, which I don't believe.
He said he considered budgetary priorities and made the decision to eliminate the fireworks
you go over
display.
to Wisconsin, you buy the second one's 99 cents. Get over there.
In his news conference, the mayor said, quote, "The fact of the matter is we just don't have $100,000 to spend blowing up rockets over our city." He went on to say, "We've been focused since my first year in office."
He's kind of a bore ass, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
What if we get a sponsor like Paul's Prosthesis Palace, which sponsors our show? We got an ad coming up.
But how about the fact that you might get 60, 70,000 people downtown doesn't mean anything.
Dylan emails in, Mayor Carter cancels fireworks and notes fiscal prudence. First, we're talking about $100,000 out of an expense budget of $709 million. Not to mention, this guy spent over $200,000 on his inauguration,
which I don't know if it's been paid back yet.
Well, and left a gap of $36K on that tab. The guy doesn't know a balance sheet from a bed sheet.
Wow. How's he feel about police officers? Is he like Junior Fry over in Minneapolis? And does he hate cops?
He said this week.
Yeah, it was a cop.
The police chief asked for more cops on the street. Was it 100 or 50? 50. And the mayor said, "No, we don't need to do that. We need to establish."
Now he's reconsidering that.
Oh, is he? Is he thinking about it now? Okay.
Maybe his dad talked to him and said, "Hey, kid, come on."
Jacob, of course, was very upset at the fireworks when they shot him off after the All-Star game at 12:30 or quarter to 1
Can't
at
do
night.
it that late for our downtown residents.
Yeah, because it's done with such regularity. Every time the All-Star game comes to town, it's a...
Last time was 1985.
Yeah, right. Every 30 years, they're causing this disturbance.
What a terrible thing.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass, too.
The Prince estate and Sony Music have signed a distribution deal for 35 of Prince's previously released album titles to be re-released. The catalog included in the deal will be distributed by Legacy Recordings, a division of Sony. According to the details announced this morning, albums originally released between 1995 and 2010 will be available this year. That includes Emancipation, 3121, The Gold Experience, and others.
Can we get Under the Cherry Moon or no?
That's later.
Okay.
I'm sick of him, too.
Music from 1978 to 1996 will be available in the U.S. starting in 2021.
You have never been on board with Prince, Patrick.
I mean, okay, I could go with 2-3 weeks of grief, but it doesn't have to go on for 20 years, for God's sakes.
There you go.
Not like Elvis. I mean, there's Elvis way up here, way up like a skyscraper. And then there's a one-story little building. There's Prince down there.
Elvis didn't have a tenth of the talent that Prince has.
That's just your opinion.
Are you going to weigh in on this, Joe, or not?
I've never been an Elvis guy, and I was never much of a Prince guy.
Oh.
So there you go.
But some of the stuff Prince does is better than anything anyone else could ever do.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I just wanted him to be a rock and roller. I didn't like this fake love, sexy BS crap that just drove me crazy.
I disagree, Joe. Sorry.
I know you do.
I disagree.
That's what I was looking for. Thanks, Such.
I liked his funky stuff. That was fun.
he was really
What do you
good
think he
at the
weighed?
funk.
110 maybe?
Well, what does that matter?
Should have been a jockey.
Prince, why aren't you eating? He liked Kraft macaroni and cheese from a box. I know that he would get
What's
upset.
wrong with that?
Well, he had a personal chef, and the chef would get mad because he wanted that boxed macaroni and not
the good
beautiful
stuff.
baked bacon macaroni that the guy could make from scratch.
That's an easy job.
Like our guy downstairs that gets mad when he's asked to fix a grilled cheese.
Well, I needed something to do. And I'm like, well, make me a club. Our guy Bryant, I love him.
Have you guys watched the Elvis thing on HBO?
No.
It's wonderful.
I watched. I didn't. I haven't watched the second part of it yet because I was afraid I was going to have to watch the downfall.
Well, you were. You did have to.
That's the only reason why I haven't watched it either. I saw today somewhere that NBC is replaying the '68 comeback.
Really?
Yeah.
It's they started recording it today. I just read.
Okay. Awesome.
That the '68 comeback specials. Yeah.
His best performance ever.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I actually own the DVD. There's like 4 DVD sets.
Yeah, and even as a heterosexual, I got to say, he is damn sexy on that stage, isn't he, in that leather? Woo-wee,
Can't
Elvis,
take it anymore.
baby. Sit on. Oh, you're role-playing now, Such.
I know.
This is good.
I think I've seen Pat wearing that same shirt that Prince was wearing.
Here's John Haidt.
You think it's an advantage to be a guitar player being short? You think that helps?
No.
No?
It's
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
You can get to the keys easier. You don't have that long arm.
Well, they're not keys.
or whatever the strings, whatever.
Where are the keys?
The opposite was true.
Could he play the piano too?
Oh,
everything.
He can play anything.
Okay.
Well,
Good for him.
when
I should back off on him.
I saw him at the Excel Energy Center, and it was the tour where he would take a turn at every instrument.
Wow.
And it was phenomenal.
How about the flute? I bet he couldn't play the flute.
Well, probably. Bass,
Or the
piano,
chime.
drums, and guitar, and he was great on all 4 of them. Just
Get the chime go. You have to hold back when you do the chime. And see, that goes back to the music teacher. Because the music teachers were always big taunters. You would walk into the music room, and they'd have the congas and the bongos out and the xylophone, and all you wanted to do was jam, but you had to spend the first half an hour in there. Don't touch the bongos. They're trying to teach you. And every kid just wanted to go in and go boom, 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 boom.
You know, the guy that played the cymbals, whenever they had one of those
Yeah,
guys.
he had the triangle.
I always thought when I saw that guy doing that, I said, there's the drug dealer on the He's the guy they bring along. He's in charge of making sure they always have their drugs. Because he has no talent. He just doing this.
Never took a lesson.
In Florida, a Newport Richie woman faces drug possession charges. She didn't think this through. Deputies said she reported.
Hey, stop.
Yeah.
Why is Dahl outside?
Come in. Just
Get
come
in
in.
here,
Just
you
come in.
dum-dum. Why are you
got a
bugging
weather
us?
emergency?
New
New
meteorologist.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, what about us over here?
Oh, you should
This
probably
is who?
Ren. Claire.
Ren? Nice to meet you.
you
Where'd you
should
go to high
probably
school?
bring her to the other room.
Yes.
Blake.
Ooh, Blake. Yeah. Anyway, good to talk to you, Ren. That's great. See you. She's a dumb one. Okay.
Wow.
And plus, it kind of smells like a locker room in here, too.
Right. It really does. It really
Kind of
does.
gross.
All right.
That's good. All right, we're good to go. Nice to meet you.
Bring her
Go say
around,
hello to the
meet the
fellas,
fellas.
Joe and Pat.
Nice meeting you.
Nice
Sorry
meeting
about
you.
the smell.
Yeah, good luck.
Sorry about the odor. Yeah.
Now I suppose I might as well wait to read anything.
She's going to be sorry that you came in here.
Fellas,
John, we don't pay
fellas,
attention anyway.
You're
That's
going to
a
like this,
good point.
fellas.
Go ahead.
Come on, while we're young. Yeah.
Hey there.
Ren,
Hi,
how are you? Joe Souchere.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Nice to
Hello,
meet you.
Ren. Pat Ricey.
She got a better reception in there than she did in here, didn't she?
Well, how do you spell Ren?
WREN.
Foghorn that, please.
Isn't that a bird? That's a
Not a
bird.
name, kid. That's not a name.
That's not a name,
Yeah,
kid.
it's just made up. Get the hell out of here. That's just made up.
Thank you.
She's never coming back again. Wren from Blake, huh? Wren from Blake High School.
Yeah. In fact, that's Duluth double.
All right, let's do a double here. Sorry, Wren.
Yeah.
A wren is a bird, right?
Yes, Wren Blair. We had the bird.
Very nice young lady.
Wren Blair was the first boss of the North Stars.
Wait a minute. Is it a real name?
Well, yeah.
Wren?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
You mean a bird?
No.
I don't. I've never
A
heard
real
it.
bird.
I've never heard it for a female before, but
I hadn't heard it for a male other than Wren Blair.
well, I don't know. Good luck to her.
Just wait till you need the weather from her, Joe. Hey, is it
Good
the
luck
weather?
to you. See you later. How you doing?
You know what? You know what I don't like about the weather anymore?
Tell me.
They're always right.
Yeah, they really are.
You used to hold out hope
Yep.
that if they said it was going to rain, well, they might be wrong. No, they're always
anymore.
right.
I wonder why
very true.
I started flop sweating when she walked in here.
Yeah, all right,
She's
Kenny.
going to have to be another one I try to avoid.
Right. Kenny, you'll see her walking down the
Kenny, I
hallway.
wouldn't worry about it.
Go a different way.
In Florida, a Newport Richie woman faces...
You'll never be on this floor again.
No.
Especially
Not
after that reception.
Right.
Faces-
tried
Poor
to
kid
be-
comes up here, she gets foghorned, ridiculed, stumbles into a locker room.
Smells like a toilet in here.
I tried
Like
to
an
be nice.
outhouse in here, man.
I was trying to go like this. Plug my nose and point over here.
Seriously, it's
Woman,
gross in here.
Yes. Woman faces drug possession charges after deputies said she reported for jury duty with cocaine in her pants pocket.
Oh, it was just an oversight.
39, that's what she said. 39-year-old Christine Mittler charged with possessing cocaine and methamphetamine. She set off alarms at the security area after walking into the West Pasco Judicial Center.
Why would cocaine set off an alarm?
Well, it was wrapped.
Okay, she had it
She had
in tin foil or something.
It wasn't like she was Gary McLean. Remember when he went to the White House to see Reagan, the basketball player, high on coke and thought they had cocaine detectors. So he just freaked out. He was behind Reagan going, this guy's got a lot of dandruff. It was in Sports Illustrated years ago.
Deputies found 2 foil packets holding the white powdery substance in Mittler's pocket after the buzzer went off. A field test on the powder tested positive for cocaine.
Wow.
Deputies searching her also found a straw that tested positive for
That's
methamphetamine.
just bad luck right there. That's bad luck.
And as you pointed out, Patrick, she admitted the drugs belonged to her, and she said she forgot they were in her pocket.
Is that protocol? Don't you always say that's not mine?
Does that get you off, I wonder, if you forget?
Police in Delaware's capital city would like to know who dropped a house on a 2-lane road and left it there. The Dover Police Department says someone abandoned the prefabricated home, blocking traffic at least until late this afternoon. This all happened yesterday. In a Facebook post that had been shared thousands of times, the department posted pictures of the home and said, "This is not a joke." The house was draped with a banner that read "oversized load." Police advised drivers to use an alternate route. They say they're still trying to find out where the house came from.
Don't you have to fill out some kind of a form that
Yes, you
moves
do.
something like that? All they have to do is find the permit?
Don't you think the driver was just embarrassed and he just probably pulled off the freeway 10 miles ahead and got out of his truck and walked home? That's what I do. Just give up.
maybe.
It's over.
The Kraft Heinz Company. Do you guys remember the cheese balls and cheese curls?
I heard Harrigan talking about them today. He's apparently a big fan.
Oh, me too. They
Cheesy
were delicious. The cheese balls and cheese curls, they were in the blue canisters.
Yeah.
And they quit them in 2006.
Yeah.
They haven't made them since then. They're going to bring them back for a while,
I wonder
apparently.
why.
Popular
'cause they're
demand.
Popular demand, that's
Now,
correct.
do you get the full crunch or do they got air inside?
You get the full crunch.
Oh, okay.
Their
Then-
cheese curls, not to pick on the ones that, the Cheetos ones,
Yeah.
their cheese curls were much better than the Cheetos ones.
Whose was this?
They're made by Kraft Heinz, but they were
Okay.
called Planters. They were the big Planters. They had the
Wow.
Planters peanut guy was on the.
God,
I'll have to get some of those.
And then you buy a can of that liquid cheese that comes in the can.
Dip it in there?
Yeah, you put a little bit. Yeah, it's just, oh my God, it's heart attack city.
No wonder you're fanning yourself.
What was that Wren
She's
chick,
still worried
man?
about
I'm telling
Wren.
you, as soon as I saw her, it was all flop sweat. Just wait till you see her on TV.
Dave
You'll
should have
know.
known better than bring that
what-
up.
what-
That's
what's
a
he
good
doing?
point.
It's not
Dave's
our
no dummy.
fault.
Dave's
It's
no
his
dummy.
fault.
We're victims.
Yes, right.
I'm used to farm girls. They look like me, man.
They look like me.
This is attractive young lady.
Yes,
Oh,
it
my
was.
goodness.
Yeah, and probably a very good weather person, I
Yes,
guess.
I'm
Oh, I meant to ask her if she had the seal.
Right.
You know, is she a trained
Oh, yeah, she's got the seal.
Let's just go to break. I need to towel off.
meteorological seal? She's got What is coming up on the pre-4th of July?
Lament the Germany's demise there in the soccer. We'll actually talk about that at Tim Kirchen, talking some baseball, and a lot of hot topics today. We had a great conversation with Kelly yesterday about with the Twins being in Chicago for a week. Mm-hmm. I asked him about the old Pacific Coast League when they used to go out to Hawaii for the whole week. Teams would go. I said, "Did you ever make one of those trips?" And he said, "Oh boy!" So find it on the podcast. It was really funny because he said the guy went to have bed check like they did, and they were perfect. There wasn't anybody home. The entire team missed curfew. So
1500 ESPN is KSTP St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's 79 degrees. The Ride with Royce is coming up next.